Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test, 1, 2, 3.
One of these channels has to be going out. That might be audio now.
Test, 1, 2, 3. No, can't hear myself now. Test, 1, 2. Test, 1, 2. Now I can hear.
Still no audio. I can hear. Okay. Why didn't you text me?
Blame it on the weather, Brian.
And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you here to the Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. Brian Shockford alongside Tom McGee. And Tom, here we are. We've got an excellent matchup here in NCAA Division III tonight between the Union College Dutchmen and the Middlebury College Panthers. And folks, we want to apologize for some technical difficulties as we are trying to fight the bad weather here. We've got very humid conditions, a nice light rain falling here in Austin, Texas this evening, and it's, as you can imagine, the water playing havoc with the electric equipment. But we want to apologize for being a little late in getting on air, but we'll get you caught up to speed. And, folks, this is a great matchup here between two of the top 11 teams in NCAA Division III. The Union College Dutchmen ranked 5th overall in the last rankings coming out yesterday, and the Middlebury Panthers ranked 11th, so a classic matchup as these two teams, Tom, are meeting for the 54th time this night, tonight, their first meeting in 1950. And, Tom, while we've got a second here with 5:05 remaining in the first quarter, let's give everybody a rundown of the scoring so far in this first quarter of play.
Well, we've got a score of 3-1 so far in favor of Union College. Scoring began with number 4, Peter Burns, getting the Dutchman off to a good start, followed by a goal by number 52, Russell Thorndike. Since then, 2 more goals have been scored. We're waiting to get the tallies in on that. And these two storied schools are both undefeated, so tonight's matchup is going to be a good one.
Indeed, the number 5 Union College Dutchmen come into this match at 5-0, undefeated on this young 2023 season. And likewise, the 11th-ranked Middlebury College Panthers, they are 4-0 this season and have already played a couple of games in their conference. This is an interconference rivalry, although these teams have played 53 previous times. Middlebury College, a member of the New England Small Collegiate Athletic Conference, and Union College, a member of the Liberty League, and both of those are very strong Division III lacrosse conferences year in and year out, Tom.
They love their game up north, and like you said, they've met 50-some-odd times. Both storied schools. Middlebury, of course, founded in 1795. Union College 5 years later in 1800. They were founded by Congressionalists. So these two storied schools are very well fitted for each other. They know what to expect from each other. And thus far, we've seen everything that the coaches had talked to us prior to the face-off, that it's going to be a physical, quick game.
Yeah, and indeed, we're not the only ones, Tom, here that are having issues, as now the scoreboard has gone out here at Caven Lacrosse and Sports Field. So, folks, it is the moist weather here playing havoc with all of the electronics in the stadium. And we're going to have a brief stoppage here, but that allows us to get caught up, Tom, on the first 7 minutes of this game as they are already, or pardon me, first 10 minutes of this game as they're already in the books. And these two schools, both New England schools, Union College out of Schenectady, New York, Middlebury College from their homestake town, Middlebury, Vermont. These two schools only 107 miles apart. And I asked both coaches after the game, these two schools being only a little over 100 miles apart, if you wanted a neutral site game, why didn't you just meet in the middle and play in the infield at Saratoga Springs? But he said, well, the horse races are on, so that was off. And they thought, well, let's just drive 1,800 miles to Austin, Texas, and have two undefeated top 11 ranked Division III lacrosse teams go at it on the beautiful turf surface here this evening.
And both schools tout kids that have never been to Texas, Brian. It's amazing, but they had barbecue last night. They're looking forward to some Mexican food while they're here, and the hospitality rug mat is out for these folks, and they're really enjoying themselves.
Indeed, and on the opposite side of that spectrum, the true reason that they are playing here tonight at Caven Lacrosse Center is Middlebury College features 4 players who played their high school lacrosse here in the Austin area, playing previously in a league that we also cover here on Game On Sports, the Texas High School Lacrosse League.
The recruiting was pretty fierce for those 4 players, and they chose Middlebury because of their storied past. As we know, Union College, they lost a heartbreaker to Rochester Institute last year in the D3 championship game. They lost 12-10, and one of the kids was talking to me earlier, and he said that's why I'm here, is I love the competitive spirit and the coaching staff, and that's why I'm hopefully going to be able to produce for my team.
Indeed, and during the warm-ups, you would have thought that this was some sort of a tribal war or wrestling match. I mean, both teams during warm-ups just whooping it up, strong vocals. I mean, I don't think these two teams could be any more fired up for this matchup than they are here this evening in Austin, Texas.
And it's showing on the field. Look how they move it out to the wing, how quickly they're moving it back out down to the alley and back out to the wing. It's amazing to see these talented kids, the way they move the rock around.
Right, and folks, don't let the fact that this is NCAA Division III fool you at all, because these two programs play very competitive lacrosse, and you can actually feel the change in gears over the games that we normally call here with UT Lacrosse, as they are members of the Men's Collegiate Lacrosse Association. It's, the step right before universities want to move into NCAA play. So this level here at NCAA Division III, I would say on par, if not maybe just a little bit better than the play you see day in, day out in the Lone Star Alliance.
Yes, sir. You're exactly right. A&M and Auburn and the University of Texas, they tout their club teams, and some of those club teams, could put up a good fight against some of these D3 and D2 schools. But this is pretty much the cream of the crop that we're seeing out here this evening.
Indeed, and a lot of these Division III schools recruit off of those the MCLA teams, Lone Star Alliance from TCU, Texas, A&M, like you had mentioned, the other members of Lone Star Alliance. So we're going to get into the action here as we have set the stage and let you guys enjoy some fast-paced lacrosse here in a gentle rain on a Tuesday evening from Austin, Texas. We'll pick things up with just over 100 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Middlebury on offense, and the ball still loose on the ground. That's going to be picked up by number 41, Tom Connolly. And Connolly working up top with number 13 for Middlebury, Billy Curtis. The Middlebury Panthers in the white jerseys with navy shirt and navy letters on the white jersey. The Union College Dutchman in the maroon jerseys and shorts with the white number. So 75 seconds remain in the first quarter, as Middlebury will pick that off as Union tried to move back on offense. And getting across the timeline, that will be number 11, Luke Simpson, one of their star defenders, a 6'205" defender from Ridgewood, New Jersey. That shot just over the top of the goal, and so far, Tom, we've seen some outstanding goal work from the man in the net for Union College, number 3, Dan Donahue. He's made about 3 or 4 excellent saves here in this first quarter.
Yes, and I'm surprised at the long stick midi play, the shot on goal. These kids are not scared to shoot on goal, and they move the ball around just phenomenally.
And the shot clock down under 60 seconds as Middlebury with another possession, working at number 30, Bobby Hendry. He'll take a shot low to the side, kick save, Donahue. And picked up in X by number 13, Billy Curtis. They get one more chance here. 28 seconds remain in the first quarter. 55 on the shot clock, so the shot clock not a factor here in the waning seconds of quarter number 1. Over here on the near side, that's number 44, Gray Thomas. He'll take it all the way across to number 41, Tom Connolly. Connolly marked by number 2, Jake Titus. Shot, goal, Middlebury. And what a shot right there, Tom, from about 16 yards out. Tom Connolly goes over the right shoulder of Donahue, puts it in the top corner of the net, and makes it a 4-1 lead for the Panthers.
Connolly is a leader, Brian, both on the field and on the sidelines. They really rely on him to put figures, put numbers up on the board, and he did just that.
And Connolly with the goal with 9.7 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1 at the Cavan Lacrosse Center. And they'll get a fresh 80 on the shot clock with 9.7 seconds remaining. And the face-off in the center circle. That's picked up by number 48, William Monroe, the Fogo specialist for Middlebury. 2 seconds, a shot from distance, a skipper, save Donahue, and the horn sounds ending our first quarter of play. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the first 15 minutes in the books here this evening at Cavan Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of University of Texas, as we bring you live exclusive coverage of NCAA Division III lacrosse. And your score after the first quarter of play here in Austin, Texas, it's the Middlebury College Panthers 4, Union College Dutchman 1. And Tom, this has been just lights out, fast-paced, moving back and forth lacrosse, and just the velocity on these shots has been incredible here in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, in talking with the coaches, they, especially Coach Campbell, he was touting that that they work hard, and that they were anticipating a low-scoring game instead of a high-scoring game, and 4-1 deficit ending the first quarter suggests otherwise, that we may get, in fact, a higher scoring game. But, as you well know, in the game of lacrosse, you're never out of it until it's over.
Right, indeed. And sometimes games can get very streaky like that, where you'll see a flurry of goals in a very short amount of time, and then defensive adjustments are made, and then you can go minutes without a goal and just see some stellar defensive play. And it'll be interesting to see how Union will react here. I mean, they're ranked number 5th in the nation in Division III NCAA lacrosse. Middlebury ranked number 11th, and right now it's the 11th ranked Panthers with a 3-goal advantage.
Still plenty of ball left to go. Another interesting fact about Union College, Brian, is they are a founding member of the New England Small College Athletic Conference. And yet they went on to the Eastern College Athletic Conference some years ago. Competition, not that much different, I would think.
No, I'm sure they're very similar. I'm thinking that's probably more of a geographic situation than anything else. But then again, you never know that, these kind of programs, they're always looking for the best team to play. Both of these teams come in, they're right here on the edge where they're about to get into serious league play. There's no need to risk your undefeated 5-0 record. But these two teams, no, they want to play and see who's best. Because you've got Union at 5-0, you've got Middlebury at 4-0, and they're here ready to chalk it up in quarter number 2 in Austin.
Got another time clock malfunction, Brian. They've stopped play temporarily.
And the rain starting to intensify here at Cavan Lacrosse and Sports Center, as we were expecting the rain to move off about 5:30, and we did have clearing skies for a few minutes, but now the rain has picked up in intensity. And we are just kind enough to thank the Rec Sports Division here of the University of Texas at Austin for allowing Tom and I to sneak just underneath the corner of the tent. So all of our paperwork and rosters aren't just soaking wet.
Well, we brought
our producer, Gabe Scott, on the other hand, we're going to need to get him a towel and a one of those nice big yellow raincoats.
Well, we brought our bathing suits, too, in case the weather got warm enough. But, Brian.
I think the only thing's missing a bar of soap and a towel at this point.
Yeah, but it's not Saturday.
No, it's not. You're right. It's only Tuesday. So, folks, we're just gonna tough it on through. And now we've got the clock back. We've had to reset it twice now.
This weather, Brian, kind of snuck up on us.
It did indeed.
I just live 25 miles north of here, and it wasn't even calling for any rain at this time last night. And the drizzle started early morning hours, and it stayed on, and then it stopped prior to the game, and now it started back up again.
And indeed, and the adverse weather conditions that you see on your screen don't seem to be affecting either team at all. I mean, the speed of play has been tremendous. Haven't seen anybody slip yet, so good, firm turf here at Caven Lacrosse Center. We don't have quite the kind of rain that's going to probably start to puddle on the field yet. But what I'm impressed most with is the fact that, we're out here playing in a light to medium rain, and neither one of these teams seem to be phased as we open the second period.
I think we're one extension cord short of having this thing fixed with the scoreboard.
There we go. They're furiously trying to get that scoreboard working as Union now will start. They were awarded the face-off on a foul by the Middlebury Fogo specialist, and starting up top for Union College, that's number 11, the junior Jake Mabberty. Mabberty working in X with number 34, Jack Thompson. They'll come back up top to Justin Green, one of their leading scorers. A shot from the side over the top of the goal by number 5, Michael Shaw. And Shaw had just a little bit of mustard on that wrister from about 17 yards out. The ball out of bounds on the far side, brought back into play by the Dutchman. As working on the far side, once again, number 13, Peter Kipp, the 6'2" junior midfielder.
Watch how patiently they move the ball around. They try and bring it back towards the alley, and then they flare it back out. And as we see another shot try.
Right, another wrister as Michael Shaw this time tried to go low and bounce it off the ankle of the goalkeeper, number 35, Hayden Kern. And there's one of your Austin links to this Middlebury Panther team, is the man holding the big net tonight in goal for the Panthers at the moment. Hayden Kern, a 5'9" freshman goalkeeper, played his college, or his high school lacrosse rather, only about 10 minutes northwest of here at Westlake High School. And so far, the freshman acquitting himself nicely in this game. He's only allowed one ball in the net, and we have 13:25 remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, he doesn't play like a freshman at all. He's confident in what he does. I was able to speak with him prior to the game, and he knows what he's got to do to take care of business tonight, and he's going to give it his all.
And now Middlebury on offense. They have the shot clock down to 55 as the clock hits 13 minutes remaining before halftime. Up top once again for the Panthers. Number 41, Tom Connolly, the senior midfielder, along with Cooper Damali, pardon me on that. Damali working up top with Connolly. Shot clock down to 40, 12:49 to play before halftime as the Panthers enjoy a 3-1 lead. And one thing I've noticed here, Tom, in the early going is how close the defense is for Union. A shot just off the corner of the post. And I'll tell you what, Dan Downahue thought that was in the net because he didn't look to his left. He looked to his right and looked in the goal. That just bounced off the post wide.
You saw one of them shimmy out of the way. He was fixing to take one in the back.
And now they'll get shot clock didn't touch the post. My apologies, folks. I thought that had hit the post. It did not. Shot clock down to 10. 12:20 to play. Working on the near side. A shot, goal! A turnaround wrister from number 42, Cooper Damali. And Damali puts his name on the board. It's now 5-1 in favor of the Middlebury Panthers.
Damali told me earlier today he wants that ball. He wants to put it to these. Dutchmen, and he did so just then.
Yeah, and that's the thing I noticed here is, earlier as we were trying to get things set up and get warmed up, people were shaking hands. Most of these young men know each other. A lot of these young men played college lacrosse or high school lacrosse against each other or with each other on the East Coast. And they were friends until it was time to warm up, and then the attitude completely changed. So, not one of those ugly rivalries or something like that, but a very friendly, competitive rivalry here tonight in Austin, Texas.
That's what lacrosse is all about, especially with these two teams. It's a fierce rivalry. They take it serious, and when the final bell rings, they regroup, go to the next game.
And now 11:45 remains before halftime as Union on the job. And you'll see the Middlebury defense here. They're coming out a lot closer. The ride is different for Middlebury as it is Union. Union's bringing their defense in, playing off, 3 to 4 yards off of the outer ring there of Middlebury. Where here, Middlebury, their defensive unit is just right on the Dutchman, marking them hard on the outer perimeter.
Yes. Talking with the with Coach Weatherford earlier today, he said they're going to play their brand of lacrosse: team style, unselfish, physical, play the transition in. They know that they are strong defensively, and they've shown it this evening thus far.
Yeah, only allowing one goal in net. A shot from distance just to the left of the net by number 22, Matt Blasey, the 6'4" sophomore out of Reading, Mass. And that quickly brought back in from X by the Dutchman. They operate with 10:50 remaining here in the first half, of the advantage 5-1 to Middlebury. Working on the near side once again, Michael Shaw, who's taken 2 of the last 3 shots as the shot clock down to 35. Back up top, the 2-man game on the far side with Jake Maberty and number 31, Archie McAvoy. They'll come all the way back across. Number 22, Matt Blasey, that shot just wide. And with 18 remaining on the shot clock, the Union Dutchmen bring the ball back into play.
The tempo of play, I've noticed, Brian, has sped up a bit. There's a sense of urgency with the Union Dutchmen thus far, and we're going to see some more shots on goal.
And you can actually hear the Dutchman on the sideline counting down that shot clock. The bouncer over the net by Matt Blasey. And now the Dutchman with 5 seconds left on the shot clock as we approach 10 minutes remaining before halftime. Working out of X, Jake Maberty, he'll come to the near side. And shot clock violation, it expires. Turnover to Middlebury Panthers. Quickly across the timeline, number 27, J.D. Farkas. And now Middlebury will work the outer perimeter here as we move under 10 minutes to play. And with a 3-goal lead here, I'm assuming, especially in this rivalry, Tom, you're just going to keep pressing the advantage. As the football coach that plays football or coaches football on this university campus about a mile or half a mile north of here, I think that both sides, regardless of the score, it's going to be all gas, no breaks here tonight.
Yes.
At Cavan Lacrosse Center.
Both teams are pretty much going to go with what brung them to this point, and we're seeing that as we see Patience moving the ball out to the wing, up to the top as they survey the field.
And the cross of number 52, Russell Thorndike, interrupted there as he was about to unleash a huge shot, but deflected by the long stick midi for the Dutchman, number 44, Clint Goudreau, causing the shot to go over the top of the net. And the Panthers reset in X with 9 minutes to play before halftime. 5-1 the score, and that shot on goal now scooped up by Dan Donahue with the big net. And he'll outlet on the far side to number 2, Jake Titus. And Middlebury Union back on the job as they're trying to get it across the timeline.
Union's going to get down there and set it up once they've cleared the ball.
I'm not sure that seemed to be a very generous 10 seconds there.
Yeah.
Because with the shot clock resetting to 80, they've got 10 seconds to get that across the midfield stripe, or it's kind of a equivalent in basketball of a backcourt violation, is it not?
Absolutely.
And now working on the far side, that's number 11, Zach Davis for the Dutchman. As Union, the one thing I've noticed also, Tom, is Union plays a lot of players. We've seen men coming through in and out of this gate constantly the entire game. It's not like they have just 2 or 3 set lines in this game. They've probably had 26, 27 different players on the field, and we're only halfway through the second quarter.
Sure. Notice they're dishing the ball a lot to number 13, Peter Kipp. Inadvertent out of bounds, gives the ball back to Middlebury, but watch number 13 as the game progresses. He's going to be a contributor.
And Kipp, one of the leading scorers for Union College on this young season. As another tidbit for these two schools, when we started this game tonight, and there's another goal for Middlebury, sneaking in from the far side, a nice low bounce. That's number 40 for the Panthers, Patrick Jammin. And Jammin will increase the Panther lead here with 7:34 remaining before halftime. It's now Middlebury College Panthers 6, Union College Dutchman 1.
Yeah, Coach spoke briefly about Jamin prior to the game.
Jamin, thank you.
He's a productive player. He gives it all he's got during practice, and he brings it all to the game and gives it his all. And Coach is really just overall pleased with the way this kid's turning out thus far.
And a foul there by the Union Fogo specialist, number 27, Matthew Paolato. And Paolato already twice in this young season, Tom, has been on the Division III Team of the Week. He's been voted in twice, and one of those was just last week with his Fogo work in that unfortunate loss they had to Rensselaer Polytechnic.
Yes, indeed. We're watching number 42. I'm sorry, it's
yeah, Cooper
Demalia.
Cooper Demalia here on the near side.
I was waiting to see what he was going to do coming in. I thought they were.
Well, what he's going to do right there is score a goal. What a shot there by Demalia. He brings the ball around X, around the backside of the net, and that is his second tally on the board. Oh, they're going to disallow the goal. No, timeout. Oh, they waved their hands. I thought he was disallowing the goal, but
I thought maybe it was a crease violation there for a second.
Exactly, but then when Middlebury did all the cheering, we realized that's a timeout. So we've got timeout here now with 6:51 remaining in the first half of this showcase game between these two top-ranked NCAA Division III schools, and it's Middlebury College 7, Union College 1, and this has just been furious and fast-paced play. I mean, Demalia was already trying to shoot that ball when he jumped up in the air and spun around. That was just amazing body control there by Demalia to go top shelf over the left shoulder of Donahue for his second goal of the evening.
You know, and that young man is only a freshman. That was a heads up. You know, you can't teach that type of play, that type of shot, that type of agility and speed. And he came right off the bench, and within, 8 seconds, he rips the back of the net.
Indeed, and if you thought that he was just kind of a small, nimble type of young man, no, not at all. Cooper Demalia, 6'3", 200-pound midfielder. So, you know, that is the kind of body control that you expect out of, you know, people who are playing young men that are playing lacrosse at this NCAA level, whether it be Division I, II, or III, because there's a lot of these young men. I mean, the transfer portal operates the same way here in lacrosse as it would for any of the other NCAA collegiate sports. And I know that there are the bigger programs in the world, the Dukes, the North Carolinas, the Virginias of the world, that may look to try to poach some of these better players from these smaller colleges.
Yeah, and Demalia was one of the best coming out of Deerfield Academy there up there in Massachusetts. And Coach said he was glad to have him on this squad.
And now with the advantage 7-1 in favor of Middlebury, 6:51 remaining before halftime. We go back to the faceoff at the midfield stripe. Neither team controlling yet. Wrestling for the ball, now finally picked up by the long stick midi, Johnny Quintaros, number 22 for Middlebury, but he has the ball knocked away and picked up by the cross of his counterpart, the long stick midi, John Sula for Union.
Number 27, Pilato, checking out of the ball game as we wait for Foley and Green to check back in.
And a steal there as the ball knocked out of the cross of John Sula and picked up by Middlebury's number 52, Russell Thorndike. A fresh 80 on the shot clock as we approach 6 minutes to play before halftime. And now a foul against Middlebury will give the ball back to Union. And following the foul, it's going to be Union possession as they have just over 6 minutes remaining. And they need to find some offense here, Tom, to bite into this 6-goal advantage for the Panthers.
It's starting to get away from them just a little bit. Maybe halftime's going to end up being their best friend for now to regroup and come back and offer a bigger threat.
And Union with the burden here. I mean, they have won the last 2 games. They won last year and the last time these two teams played, which was in 2019 before the pandemic. Prior to that, however, it was an 11-game win streak for Middlebury. So Middlebury with the overall advantage in the series all time. Out of 53 meetings, Middlebury has won 34. 19 have gone to the Union College Dutchmen. But the Union College Dutchmen here riding a 2-game winning streak in this rivalry. But they're down right now by 6 goals with 5 minutes to play in the first. And that one bounced just off the top right off the crossbar. And the Panthers are having no problems putting shots on goal here in this first half at Cavan Lacrosse Center.
Coach Campbell was, again, talking to me prior to the game. They said that they had to execute their game plan, and they're executing it very, very handsomely, and just play their game. And I think the guys have settled in, and I think even the second half we're going to see a lot calmer play, even though it's aggressive play. But I think they're going to exercise a little more caution with that 6-point lead.
And now the shot clock approaching 30 seconds remaining as the Panthers work on the far sideline. Patrick Jamin working over there with number 13, Billy Curtis, the 6'2", 190-pounder attacker out of Beverly Farms, Mass. He also a product of Deerfield Academy, along with Cooper Damali.
Union players on the sideline getting riled up.
Oh, yeah, the support from the benches for these players on the field is just amazing. I mean, I've never seen teams just rooting this loud for one another, really, in just about any sport. It's just a fantastic support. You know, lacrosse being the brotherhood that it is, really.
Yes.
And very close-knit. You know, a lot of other sports you see, there's, the jealousy between the players of who gets playing time and who doesn't, but I don't sense any of that here tonight. This is just everybody rooting all for one as a team. A shot, and what a great pass there. As behind the defense, Russell Thorndike with the goal, his first goal of the evening. And that was a failure right there, Tom, by the Union defense. They left Thorndike one-on-one against Donahue, and there was just no way Donahue could stop him.
Thorndike came to play tonight. He had told me earlier prior to the game that he wanted to contribute and that he wanted to help lift up his teammates and be the type player that they expect him to be, and he's showing that tonight.
And now the score with 3:41 remaining in the first half. Middlebury College Panthers 8, Union College Dutchman 1, and the faceoff won there by the faceoff specialist Matthew Paolato. Pardon me. The first O silent. And now back up top, that's working Justin Green, the 5'10" attacker out of Norwell, Mass, as he'll start the job with Union as they have 55 remaining on the shot clock. But now they're down by 7 goals with 3:10 to play in the first half. They'll work out of X with number 6, Emmett Lynn. Lynn back in X, trying to go all the way back up top. Instead, he'll find Jake Mabberty on the side, and a goal there for Union. Mabberty from 22 yards out, and somehow he found room between the near side post and the right arm of the goalkeeper, number 35, Hayden Kern, for Union's second goal of the night.
Just a textbook shot that ripped the back of the net. This junior out of Winchester, Massachusetts, went to Winchester High School. He was a standout over there. Made it happen. Now we've got an 8-2 ball game.
And the clock just under 3 minutes remaining now. The faceoff still loose at midfield, picked up once again by Jake Titus. And quickly the Dutchman back on the attack, as they've already taken 1 goal off of this lead, and they look to get another here before halftime.
Titus trying to force something to happen, creates a turnover.
Perhaps just a little too aggressive there, but Tom, they probably need to do something, because you think, we need to get this to maybe a 5-goal deficit to make it manageable at halftime.
I would think so.
And now the ball loose, dropped by the Panthers.
And it's possible. We're seeing
fantastic defensive play. These guys just all over each other. I mean, it's clean, it's legal, but there's just no space between these players as they fight for that ball.
They both are. You'd think we just faced off the beginning of the game. No one's tired, no one's dragging, no one's gassed.
Well, it's the player rotation. Like I said, I mean, Union's been rotating players like crazy, and I guess that's a lot of the strategy there, Tom, is to keep these guys fresh for crunch time as we get into the latter stages of the third quarter and into the fourth.
And to get their shooters in that can take that shot.
And now working up top for Middlebury, number 30, Bobby Hendry. Penalty flag. And a goal as well, but we'll check the call with the officials. I'm not sure if the penalty came first or the goal. They do put the goal on the board, however. And the flag waved off. They allow Middlebury to play the advantage, and another goal for the Panthers with 1:46 remaining. It's now Middlebury 9, Union 2 here at Caven Lacrosse Field in Austin. And it looks like we might be getting a break here, Tom, as the rain looks like it may have subsided.
I think so. It definitely has. The water's not dripping off the tents as much. We can
and our equipment
clearly see.
And the face-off won by Union. They'll get one more chance with 1:34 to play. They will have to take a shot, though. The shot clock down to 70. As they'll switch men out through the gate and go on the attack on the far side. Shot from distance and a goal for Union. What a wrist shot there by Zach Davis, the 5'11", 180-pound midfielder. Another Deerfield product. And you've got teams from Deerfield, or pardon me, players from Deerfield Academy here on both of these squads, Tom. And that was an amazing shot there from about 30 yards out to cut the lead to 9-3 in favor of Middlebury.
It was a quick shot. It got past that goalie. You won't see that happen too often. But what a shot. Just beautiful.
And now 83 seconds remain in the half, 80 on the shot clock. So the shot clock and the game clock almost identical as we look to close out the first half of play. That ball still loose at midfield, finally controlled by Middlebury, taken by Billy Curtis. Curtis quickly forward. He'll shoot, bounce shot, save Donahue. The ball 30 feet up in the air, bouncing down as Donahue looking to pick that off. And they will award possession to Union. You've got to award the goalie, Donahue, with the hustle there. He got to the ball first.
I'm surprised to see that. It looked like a Middlebury ball there for a second. Good hustle on the part of Union.
Might be the extra 2 inches on that big net. But Dan Donahue secures possession for the Dutchman. 40 seconds to play. Now the clock will stop. A timeout taken by the Dutchman. They'll use their second and final timeout of this half, as it looks like the coaching staff will set up one more play here with 39.8 remaining before halftime. And Derek Witherford, a Union product himself, in his 4th season of coaching the Dutchman, he's going to look to set up a play here and cut this to 9-4. And if he does, it's what we just talked about earlier. He'll be able to narrow it down to only a 5-goal deficit at the half.
You're correct. Coach just graduated back in 2011, so he's still got a finger on things, and the kids really love him and respect him, and they play their hearts out for him. And you'd think they were up by, you'd
think it was 9-3 Union.
Yes. These kids are stoked.
Oh, exactly. And that's the one thing I'm noticing right here is, they're down by 6 goals, but you couldn't tell by nobody. There's not one head hanging. There's not. These guys are still. 6 goals in lacrosse, not an insurmountable advantage by any stretch of the imagination. So they feel that we can just get to the halftime break, make some adjustments, and who knows what can happen when we come back out for the third quarter.
I totally agree with you, Brian. That's the fun thing about watching this game of lacrosse is it's never over till it's over. And despite a 6-point deficit, these kids' spirits are high, and they're going at it with all they've got for these last 40 seconds.
Well, on behalf of Texans everywhere, I'm going to say it's the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's the barbecue that's got them all pumped up.
I think so. And tomorrow will be the Hispanic cuisine.
There you go. Well, for growing college men and probably the 4,000 to 5,000 calorie a day diets these lacrosse players are on, a nice heavy dose of protein never hurts before a match.
You can't come to Texas without trying barbecue, that's for sure.
And 30 seconds now to play before halftime. Shot clock no longer a factor as Union will play for the last shot. Back in X, that's number 6, Emmett Lynn. He'll come out to the outside now, back up top to Peter Kipp. That's the one you want to watch, 13 in the maroon jersey. Their leading scorer. He's going to go to the side. Oh, just wide by Michael Shaw. He missed by less than 2 inches there.
Shaw had that shot.
He had an open look. He was one-on-one with the goalkeeper, Kern, and just barely missed. 13.8 now remaining as the ball will be brought into X, from X on the far side. Jake Mabberty already with 1 goal in the match. Clock not functioning. Seconds remaining. Save Kern. Ball loose in the crease. And Kern scoops it up. And he'll just throw it all the way down to the other end of the pitch as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime.
What an exciting halftime. What an exciting first half.
Indeed.
Score doesn't dictate but the excitement factor and the hustle factor is alive and well out here tonight.
Absolutely. And, folks, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin, as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage of this NCAA Division III matchup between the Union Dutchmen and the Middlebury Panthers. And, folks, your score as we go to the halftime break here in Austin, Texas. It's Middlebury College Panthers 9, Union College Dutchmen 3. And the story here, I think, in the first 30 minutes, Tom, was the fantastic defense by the Panthers. Kern, and they scored 2 goals here in the last 7 minutes, but for the first 23 minutes of this half, only 1 ball gets by the Austin Westlake product in goal for Middlebury, number 35, Hayden Kern. And the defense for Middlebury has been outstanding, and the speed and the aggressiveness of the attack for the Panthers is why they have a 6-goal advantage here at the halftime break.
They are executing what they have worked on since they started spring training, and it is showing very good results. But let's not take anything away from Union. They are already out on the field practicing. The goalie's out blocking shots. I'm going to be very curious to see how this second half comes together, whether or not it'll be a tighter second half, and whether Union can narrow the lead and do something even further with the Rock.
Well, you see that here. You saw that here in the closing stages of the half. I mean, it was 9-1 with about 5 minutes to go, and now as we play lacrosse, or as we take the halftime break here, they've already closed it down to 9-4. So we know that the Union College, there's a reason they're ranked 5th in the nation, is these young men still have something in the tank, and they'll definitely be ready to go when this third quarter starts.
Yes, they've had their backs against the wall before. They know how to react to it, and the physical play will continue. The tempo of the game will stay up, and like you were talking earlier, Brian, about the substitution, they've got so many fresh bodies coming in, but they want to have their high scores in, i.e. their starters like, Donahue, Burns, Shaw, Davis, and Mabardi. It's just it's going to be something to behold.
And, folks, you'll definitely want to come back and join us for that second half of play. We'll step aside here for a quick break at halftime. Middlebury College Panthers 9, Union College Dutchmen 3. Folks, join us back here in just a few minutes. We'll have the second half of this exciting lacrosse match from Austin, Texas, right here on Game On Sports. That's what it says on the sheet. Yeah, time flies when you're having fun. I'll let you review it.
Henry and
Marcus and Forbes. So we're not going to get fired until after we're done? I'm guessing Fred wasn't happy with that first 5 minutes.
first 7.5.
There you go. Oh, I'm just kidding.
Never know.
Oh, we need to come back. What? Okay, yeah. And folks, we welcome you back here to Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of the University of Texas at Austin. Brian Shackelford alongside and Tom McGee as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage of tonight's NCAA Division III showcase match between the Union College Dutchmen and the Middlebury College Panthers. And Jim, it has been a show big time for the Middlebury Panthers here in this first half as they lead 9-3. And give us a rundown there of the scoring so far in this first half and what we can expect to see from both of these teams as we go into the third quarter.
Well, for Union, Brian Conley's got 2, Damali's got 2, Jamin's got 1, Thorndyke's got 1, Hendry's got 1, Farkas has 1, and Forbes. So they have spread the wealth out fairly evenly throughout the squad. For Middlebury, Mabarty's got 1, Davis has 1, and so does Barnes.
Well, I think that would be Union here with 3 and Middlebury with 9 on this side.
Oh, my bad.
So that's okay.
Flip-flopped them.
But yeah, lots
Somebody
of score.
swapped my notes.
Right. Who messed with my notes? No. But yeah, we've got 7 different goal scorers in the first half for the Middlebury Panthers, led by number 41 Tom Connolly with 2 goals and number 52 Russell Thorndyke with 2 goals. Single goals each on the Union side for Jake Mabarty, Zach Davis, and for Barnes, Peter Burns, number 4, as we're ready to go here with half number 2, a 9-3 advantage for Middlebury, as the Austin products for Middlebury, all 4 freshmen and a freshman in goal. If you look there in goal in the white jersey with navy trim, that is number 35 Hayden Kern, a 5'9", 160-pound freshman who played his high school lacrosse at Austin Westlake, and there are 4 Austin products for Middlebury on this roster, which is why they are down here playing this match against Union College this evening in Austin. And a great place to play lacrosse here, a beautiful facility here at Caven Lacrosse and Sports Field, as we're just about set to get the third quarter into play. That face-off, a foul on the face-off as we begin our third quarter, Middlebury with possession.
Brian, I think we're going to see pretty much what we saw from the first half, but I think Union is going to up the tempo. They're going to stay with what brung them. They're going to shoot often, but they're going to move the rock around patiently.
And it'll be interesting to see if Middlebury alters the ride or if they stay with that close ride, way out on the outer circle. But it's been working for them so far, as with just over 30 seconds or under 30 seconds gone in our third quarter. The ball out of bounds here on the near side. As we have switched sides, Middlebury will be attacking the goal to your right as you watch on your tablet, smartphone, or computing device here this evening. And the Union College Dutchman will be shooting to the goal on the left. And the turnover to Union as the outlet there by the goalkeeper, number 3, Dan Donahue, and the Dutchmen go on their first attack of this third quarter.
Union has got to take advantage of this turnover. They've got time right now, but time could become a factor if they don't get the ball in the cage.
And now on the attack, working back in X, number 5, Michael Shaw. And they'll come back up top with one of the goal scorers, Jake Mabardi. Mabardi working up top with number 18, Justin Green. As the shot clocks are off here for the moment, or one is off. And a goal there for Union College. What a shot from distance. Another goal from distance. And putting it in the net this time, Michael Shaw. He has had some great shots here. Had great shots in the first half, but just wide. And now Shaw finds his range to make the advantage 9-4 in favor of Middlebury.
Yes, the junior from Tabor Academy put that ball where he needed to put it, obviously. But patient play, good whip shot, goal.
And now a face-off once again in the center circle is Palado, the face-off specialist for Union, working against number 48, William Monroe, the Fogo specialist for the Panthers.
And they look at them wrestle for that
ball. That is just amazing right there. Nobody's wanting to flinch. The guys on the outside just waiting to get in there. A massive display of strength right there. I mean, you're talking some incredible upper body arm strength there to hold that ball in position with those two Fogo specialists. The ball still loose in the middle of the field.
Ground balls are critical here too, Brian. Union needs to win these and get the ball back in the cage.
And a turnover will give the advantage back to the Union Dutchman. And this was, at one time, folks, if you're keeping track of runs, this is a 3-0 run here for Union College. Middlebury led with about 6 minutes to go in the second quarter, 9-1. And the last 3 goals have been all Union College as they look to storm back here in this second half. They trail now only by 5 as the clock moves under 13 minutes remaining. On the near side, that's Zach Davis working up top with number 13, Peter Kipp, their leading scorer. Kipp yet to get on the board this evening. Behind the back on the near side over here to Justin Green. And now a scramble for the ball. That's covered up in the crease by Kern. And a smart play by Kern to put that big net on top of the ball and secure possession for Middlebury.
Yes.
And did you see that behind the back flip?
Did.
That was impressive.
Normally that's a shot on goal, but it was a behind the back pass. He's got the confidence to do that, being down 5 goals. Power to him. Justin Green checking out of the game. Emmett Lynn and Mabardi
on the attack now, though.
Checking in.
Yep, Middlebury now working up top. It's number 24, Jake Peluso, working with number 44, Gray Thomas. On the far side, Russell Thorndike, the last goal scorer for Middlebury, as he scored with about 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter.
Thorndike patiently sending it behind the cage.
And they move the ride now to a clockwise rotation. It's coming in from the near side, number 9, Jack Sheehan. Sheehan marked there by Jake Titus. And the ride for Union starting to move out on the perimeter. A bounce shot and a goal for Middlebury. Getting past Titus, that's number 24, Jake Peluso. And he moves Middlebury into double digits on the evening. It's now Panthers 10, Dutchman 4 with 11:23 to play in the third.
They reacted to the last threat, and that was just a beautiful shot. Not much thought behind it, just reflex.
And Peluso extends the lead back to 6 goals for the Panthers. And immediately the faceoff win for William Monroe. but Pilato knocks the ball away. And now on the far side, the long stick midi forward, the Dutchman, Clint Goudreau, will bring the ball across the timeline as Union will go back on the job with just over 11 minutes remaining in quarter number 3. Penalty flag coming in.
We're going to get a foul for hitting in the back, blindside back shot.
And they will allow Union to play the advantage as the shot clock moves under 70. And now with the ball out of bounds, we'll get the penalty call here with 10:51 remaining in our third quarter.
And Union will retain possession of the rock.
And I believe this will be the first time tonight, third penalty of the night, but I believe this will be the first time tonight that Middlebury will be man down. And picking up the push, that's number 50, Finn Muldoon. And Muldoon will buy himself 30 seconds in the sin bin as Middlebury is now man down with 10:51 remaining in the third. And this gives Union an excellent chance to cut this back down to a 5-goal lead.
This is their time to produce, Brian, and bring this game back into perspective to keep their spirits up.
Working in the middle, number 11, Zach Davis. Over on the far side, Shaw setting up for another big shot. Probably now they'll get someone out to mark Shaw. You don't want to leave that man out on the right side by himself for very long. Davis coming back to the near side. 4 seconds left in the penalty. Haven't put a shot on goal yet. Great defense by Middlebury as the penalty expires.
Green should have shot. He was open, and the goalie was ready for it.
Davis from 30 yards out. What a shot right there in the lower left corner. There was nothing. Hayden Kearns hanging his head. There was nothing Kern could do about that one. That was just excellent placement. And what speed there to make it 10-5 now in favor of Middlebury.
He loaded up and uncorked that with all he had, and it paid off for the Dutchman. Wow.
Too bad we don't have a jugs gun out here like at a baseball game to get the speed on these shots. Holy cow. I mean, that thing just billowed the net from 30 yards out.
Union wins this faceoff too, Brian.
And Pilato getting some good work in here. It's been about a 50-50 draw on the faceoffs, I would say, so far. So give props to both William Monroe and Matthew Pilato as they've put good work in here in the center circle this evening. But now it's Union back on the job. And once again, I mean, this is still a good run here for Union. They're on a 4-1 run in about the last 10 minutes of play in this contest.
Yes, and you can't tell that the rain is becoming a factor. The tempo
off the post. The rain starting to fall again, and folks, we apologize if there's a penalty flag coming in, and folks, we want to apologize if some of that rain is showing up on the lens, and you may see some disturbance in your picture as we try to wipe off that lens and keep it dry for you. As the rain once again starting to fall here in Austin, Texas. Union still with possession as we move under 9 minutes remaining in the third. They trail now only 10-5.
Forecast is calling for this to pass on through eventually.
Oh, it will about 10 minutes after the game's over, right? That's usually about how it works.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are finished playing lacrosse? Okay, we'll stop the rain.
Sure.
And now the rain coming down harder than it has all evening. This is a nice shower right here. We've got a penalty. This will be a 1-minute penalty. Being assessed to Middlebury's number 21, Brendan Hickey. And now another man-up advantage here. And if Union can cut this down with the man advantage to only a 4-goal deficit,
we've got us a new ball game.
We've got us a ball game as we're only halfway through quarter number 3.
They came out with purpose, patience, tolerance, and execution on their mind, and they're making it happen.
And they'll go back up top. That's Justin Green working a shot just wide.
Emmett Lynn's shot just off, like you said, Brian, but he corked up and was almost in that cage.
Oh, yeah, it got past Kern, but Kern able to deflect it just enough to keep it from going through the pipes. Outside off the pipes, and now down to 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Brendan Hickey. Still a man-down situation for Middlebury.
Be looking for Green. He could be your guy again.
Shaw on the side. He puts it into the side of the net. And they'll reset the shot clock. Union somehow gets the ball back. Another shot from the near side by Green, wide. And the Dutchman will bring the ball back into play with 8:02 remaining in the third, but only 8 seconds remaining on their man-up advantage.
Number 11, Zach Davis out there directing traffic, trying to make something work. They'll dish it out to him. He's open out there.
And the penalty now expires as Middlebury back to full strength. So unable to convert on that man-up advantage are the Union Dutchmen. But still 10-5, they still have possession. A low shot just off the ankle of Kern and out of play. And the turnover, the Union bench furious. They thought they had possession there, but they give the ball instead to the Middlebury Panthers. Halfway through this third period at the Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center in Austin, Texas. Brian Shackelford and Tom McGee bringing you tonight's action in NCAA Division III lacrosse between Middlebury College and Union College. As now Middlebury with possession, working at X, number 11, Luke Simpson, as the Panthers will get fresh bodies on the field with 60 remaining on the shot clock.
Jamin just checked back into the game. He dished to Conley. We're going to see some patient play on account of the Panthers with their 5-goal lead.
And now working out of X, that's number 41, Tom Connolly. Connolly already with 2 goals on the night, looking for the hat trick. They'll work it back out of X again, scramble in front of the net. Oh, a high shot off the post. Now coming to the near side, number 40, Patrick Jamin. And Jamin with the goal. Or was it? No, that wasn't. It wasn't Jamin. Jamin had the assist. Believe that was William Ryan putting his first tally on the board here with 6:31 to play. And what set that up was the fantastic pass from down here in the corner by Jamin.
Yeah, he faked high, went low, got the corner of the cage. 11-5 in favor of the Panthers.
And Middlebury now extending back to a 6-goal lead as William Ryan becomes the 9th different goal scorer this evening for the Middlebury Panthers. They have two scorers, Conley and Thorndike, with a pair. Everyone else with single goals. No hat trick yet by either team.
Union, of course, winning the face-off. Patrick Riley coming in,
and now
having an injury.
And now Union back on the job, working with number 22, Matt Blasey up top. Blasey playing the 2-man game up top with Archie McAvoy. And Michael Shaw, who's been working the offensive right side of the pitch all night long for the Dutchman. He has 1 goal in the evening. He'll take another shot just over the top of the crossbar out of bounds. Union brings the ball back in play with 40 on the shot clock.
Blasey encouraging the game to speed back up and get the ball back up top. They had something going there.
And now Union with the ball back in play, 5:40 remaining in the third quarter. They trail 11-5. They'll get it back to Shaw on the far side. Shaw marked over there by number 36, Teddy Curran, and another goal for Union. That one moved quickly. And with the score, that's number 31, Archie McAvoy, as he puts his first tally on the board this evening with 5:30 remaining in quarter number 3. And folks, your new score here at Cavan Lacrosse and Sports Center with 5.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's now Middlebury College Panthers 11, Union College Dutchman 6.
Union is coming alive. We got Laundry on the field.
Another penalty marker on the field as Union has it back to a 5-goal lead, but this looks like to be a penalty against the Dutchman as the Panthers play the advantage. The Middlebury Panthers once again wearing the white jerseys tonight with the navy blue shorts, and the Union Dutchman in all maroon with white letters on the jerseys. They'll get fresh legs out on the field as the shot clock moves under 50 and the game clock moves under 5 minutes. They have 2 different penalty flags on the field. And once we get a stoppage of play, we'll see if this is 2 separate penalties or Two of the officials found the same penalty. Working on the near side. Gray Thomas being heavily marked there by number 39, Gray Humphrey. Still an advantage and a goal for Middlebury. How did he do that?
It was amazing.
Number 13, Billy Curtis, from behind the net, shooting into the goal as he moves forward.
He was moving away, saw his mark, didn't think twice, goal.
And now, following the goal, we'll get an explanation of the penalty calls. And we will still have a penalty, it appears.
It's a tripping foul, and that carries a minute penalty in the box.
So that will put number 23, John Sula, in the penalty box for 1 minute. So not only do they get the goal on the advantage, Tom, now they're still man up for a minute with 4:28 to play in quarter number 3.
Exactly. And the rain is still staying persistent, but you can't tell by the way these kids are moving around out there on that field.
And Pilato working against Monroe, squeezes the ball out, but it's picked up by Middlebury's number 50, Finn Muldoon. And now the advantage, man up for Middlebury with 4:15 remaining in the third as 45 seconds remain on the penalty to John Sula. It looks like they'll hold the ball in X with Thorndike. Briefly, William Ryan in X alongside Thorndike. He'll move back out. Now Thorndike takes the ball in X to the far side. And they'll go all the way back up top to Billy Curtis.
Go ahead, Brian.
25 seconds left in the penalty.
I was just going to say it. You tell by the score. You can't tell by the score the urgency that these Panthers are showing. They're still taking shots on goal regardless.
They're the team that they're playing like they're down 12-6. The ball back in play. 13 seconds remain on the penalty. 22 on the shot clock. Thorndike now up top. Shot, it bounces in. The lucky bounce there for Will Zink. The ball hits the crossbar, comes over, hits the near side post, bounces out into the rear end of the goalkeeper Donahue, and then across the line for the goal.
Just lost his balance at the goal line there. Fell into it with the rock in hand.
And just a disastrous turn of offense there for the goalkeeper, Dan Donahue. He had the ball in his hand, had the ball in the net, but then fell into the net with the ball, and it crosses the line. That's a goal for Middlebury.
That, of course, releases the penalty that was assessed to Sam Brosnan.
And now we play lacrosse with 3:20 remaining in our third period. It's Middlebury 13, Union College 6. Monroe winning the faceoff as the Panthers go back on the job. Coming into the game, Tom Connolly working with Russell Thorndike.
Yeah, Connolly's the leader on that bench. He wants to contribute at every facet of this game, and we'll see what happens.
William Ryan on the near side. Now he'll take it across the field over to Tom Connolly. Connolly will turn, take a shot off the cross of the goalkeeper Donahue, and out of bounds across the end line. Now down to 2:44 remaining in the third period. Shot clock at 57 for the Panthers. Another wraparound attempt by Curtis. This time, Donahue not fooled. And he knocks the ball away, but it will be Middlebury retaining possession as Patrick Jammin will bring the ball in from the end line with 2.5 to play in the third. Curtis now in X. Marked there by number 21, Shane Smith.
Watch them patiently move the ball around until they get the open shot.
Curtis thinks about it. Shot clock down to 42. Smith still riding Curtis. Now he'll go in next to Thorndike. Shot. Save Donahue. And this possession, Tom, Dan Donahue has been earning his dinner. There were 3 fantastic saves here in just this 80-second shot clock.
Yeah, spoke to him before the game too, and this was his goal. He wants to be there and cover that cage.
Curtis going back up top. As that ball did hit the post, a new shot clock down to 45. As Jammin will now work up top. Shot just wide by Thorndike. Thorndike looks to be dialed in here in the late stages of the third period. As that shot just wide, now it's brought back in play by Cooper Damali. Damali back in the game. He'll shoot that high over the top of goal. out of play, but back there to save possession for the Panthers, William Ryan. Shot clock down to 36. As Ryan works an X marked by the long stick midi, number 34, Jack Thompson. Now Thorndike returns to X. He'll work in X with Curtis. They find Damali. Shot save Donahue. A great scoop save there by Donahue to move that ball away and out of harm's way and out of bounds off of Middlebury. And say what you want to there about the Union defense, but the reason that it's not 14-6 right now is because of Dan Donahue. That was an amazing 3 minutes there by the goalkeeper.
And they are firing at will. They are not holding anything back on the offense, as the coaches instructed them to do so. Just awesome ball.
Now they'll come back up top as they just get the ball across the timeline to the Union Dutchman. And now a fight in X behind the Middlebury goal. And the penalty will give the ball back to the Panthers as we're inside the final minute of our third quarter of play. Middlebury has now opened the lead back to 7 goals. They lead 13-6 with 40 ticks remaining here in the third quarter. Charging forward, back freshman and J.D. Farkas back in the game. He has 1 goal already. And they'll get the ball back to Russell Thorndike as Thorndike is worked on by Clint Goudreau.
We're seeing the momentum switch back, Brian, over to Middlebury. These last 2 or 3 minutes has been it's been their game to call.
And Middlebury now in firm control here of the waning seconds of this third quarter, down to 10 seconds. As Peluso with the goals, looking for a shot, marked by number 39, Gray Humphrey. 5 seconds. Middlebury looks for a shot. Save Donahue. He'll knock it away. And the horn sounds, ending our third quarter of play. 3 quarters in the books here, ladies and gentlemen, from Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of UT Austin, as Game On Sports brings you live exclusive coverage of tonight's NCAA Division III showcase match between the Middlebury Panthers and the Union Dutchmen. And your score as we head to the fourth and final quarter here in Austin, Texas. Middlebury Panthers 13, Union Dutchmen 6. And Tom, your impressions there of the third quarter, what stood out to you most there?
I was just going to ask you, Brian. I said, is this everything you expected in a game?
Oh, sign
with
me
these
up.
2 schools.
Can we do this again tomorrow?
Yeah.
Can they stay one more day?
Can they line it up and play again at 8 or 9?
Exactly. They got one more game in them before they get on the bus and head to the airport.
Why not?
I mean, this has been fantastic. And talk about, the goaltending there by Dan Donahue of the Dutchman in the last 3 minutes there. That was, 7 shots on goal by the Panthers?
Yes.
And just amazing saves there by Donahue, because he now knows at the rate that the Panthers are firing at that net that he's going to have to take this game and put it on his back if he wants to keep the Dutchman in this.
I'm just impressed with the hustle on both of these squads.
Lights out.
They're playing like there's no tomorrow. They both know what's at stake. They've got, one team's got a little bit of a hem-haw on them to even the stats out between the 2 teams. But we're seeing a heads-up, feisty ball game.
Oh, definitely. It's amazing. It's that perfect combination of friendly and feisty. It's that great rivalry where, these guys are still friends when it's all over, but, boy, they're going to fight like crazy out there on that lacrosse pitch for the last 15 minutes.
The face-off guys really earned their keep this evening so far.
And now the opening face-off belongs to the Dutchman, but an unforced error as they lose the ball out of bounds through the gate. Disastrous there for Union in the opening seconds of quarter number 4.
We'll watch Jamin start the play. See what they got. Patiently surveying the field. Seeing who's going to get open. They'll work it down the alley, back out to the wing.
And now in the game, that's number 42, Cooper Damali, as he'll take over up top. Oh, they look for Thorndike in the middle. He dropped the ball. Union now back in possession with 45 seconds gone in quarter number 4. And Tom, how do they cut into this 7-goal lead here as the clock is quickly becoming the enemy of the Union Dutchman?
They've got to move the ball. They've got to create the turnovers. They've got to eliminate their ground balls, and they got to get the ball down and score fairly quick because, like you said, time is becoming a factor.
And not that you can't score 7 lacrosse goals in 14 minutes, but it helps if you get it done quickly.
Got to win the face-offs and the ground balls.
And now, charging forward, that's number 41 for the Panthers, Tom Connolly.
Block shot. Good Union block goal.
And that one, the defenseman stepping in to make that stop, as now the Dutchman will take over. And if the first 3 quarters were any indication, Tom, we're going to see a very fast and furious final quarter here at Cavan Lacrosse Field. That bounce shot just off to the side of goal. Kern tried to get there, but Michael Shaw was already back there for Union and X, and he'll bring the ball back into play.
You know, both teams are playing with a broad sense of urgency, but you're going to see these Union Dutchmen really turn up the heat and try and create whatever they can. They've got to be careful and not be reckless and create penalties.
They need to create, indeed, they need to create goals and not men in the box, in the penalty box here with 13 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. They'll come to the near side looking for Shaw again. Quickly back to Peter Kipp. And that's the first shot that Kipp has put on goal since midway through this first quarter. And a nice save there by the Panther goalkeeper, Hayden Kern.
Yes.
Middlebury now back on the job as the clock moves under 13 minutes to play. They have 75 on the shot clock as Thorndike will take possession on the near side, marked by Clint Goudreau. And now they'll work back up top with number 44 in white, Gray Thomas.
They're really rotating some players in on the count of the Dutchman. Shane Smith, number 21, is now in the ball game. And we're going to see more of Emmett Lynn, the freshman out of Phillips Andover.
And Middlebury as well, bringing 5 fresh bodies in on the attack here as well. As just in the game, Jack Sheehan and Jake Peluso.
And just look at how Middlebury pushes that ball right down the field. One dish pass, shot on goal.
And another great save there, a nice save there by Dan Donahue, as he's got the ball in the net with less than 12 minutes, his big net with less than 12 minutes to play. And he'll set up the offense with the long stick midi, Jack Thompson.
Nice over-the-shoulder pass.
Now Davis on the attack for the Dutchman. He'll shoot, score! Single-handedly, the effort there by Zach Davis. And there's our first hat trick of the night, the third goal for Zach Davis, as he'll cut the advantage now to Middlebury 13, Union 7, with 11:33 remaining in our fourth quarter.
Just some good patient play with some quick hand and stick movements. Ball's in the back of the K.
And credit Zach Davis with 3 goals here on the night. He has 3 of Union's 7 tallies on the evening.
They've got to win these face-offs in order to get the ball, of course, to get the ball back down to shoot on goal.
And a scramble for the ball on the far side.
Here they come.
And here comes Union again, number 23, John Sula. They'll get it back up top to Jake Titus. They're trying desperately to get men in. Get their shooters in. Are the Dutchmen. A low shot is goal. Oh, penalty though.
I think he infiltrated the crease maybe.
I don't know. Emmett Lynn right now has the tally, but we'll wait on the official and his determination. The clock, and they rule a goal for Emmett Lynn and the Dutchman.
I'll be darned.
Lynn diving. I think what they're going to get is a cross check.
The freshman from Phillips Andover High School.
And that's what happened there. The penalty was on the Middlebury defender for cross-checking Lynn in the back because he shot that as he was falling on his face and goes 5-hole on the goalie Kern to make it 13-8. And now they're right back there to 5 goals. If they can get this down to 4, here we go.
Yeah.
They were down by 7 just 4 minutes ago, folks, and now it's 13-8.
This face-off is going to be crucial, Brian. They need to win this face-off. Union does. They don't. They do. They don't.
another loose ball, and that's where you have to credit both of these face-off specialists equally. Now Paulato has the possession. Finally, his perseverance pays off there as Paulato gives the possession to Union with just under 11 minutes to play, and we still have plenty of time for Union to come back in this match.
They're playing some smart ball. They're bringing it back out. They're setting up. They're going to run a play.
No need to panic here, right, with 10:30 to play. you can still run your offenses. Tom, would that be accurate?
I think so.
And it appears they are. They're gonna patiently look for the opening, trying to center Zach Davis, and that one picked off. A nice snag there to intercept that pass by Brendan Hickey. Just an unfortunate incident there for Union. As now Middlebury goes on the job.
Long stick Mitty bringing the ball down, dishing it back out, up top.
And Thorndike will hold up top. And at what point here, I don't think we're probably there yet. I imagine Middlebury would want to get this, well, I mean, a 5-goal lead, really. You just got to keep your foot on the gas and keep going.
Sure.
So had they had an 8-goal lead, at what point do you start to slow that down? About 5 minutes, 4 minutes, but obviously not the situation right now as Union has come storming back.
Well, the play didn't come out quite as they planned. It was kind of a slower shot, and goalie's able to pick up on it, and result was a block shot. The weather has cleared. Some of the rain is gone. We just have a mild mist now on the field.
And now charging down with the ball for Union, that's number 39, Gray Humphrey. Humphrey starts the offense here with just over 9 minutes remaining in regulation. And a whistle. And that's great coaching right there by Derek Whitford, because Michael Shaw was about to get shoved out of bounds by Middlebury, but he called timeout to save possession.
Very heads-up play on these coaches' part. They get to contribute when they can, and this was a smart play. Union needs that ball, and they need to get it in the cage.
And we have timeout here on the field with 9:08 remaining in regulation at Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center here at UT Austin. And your score at the moment, Middlebury Panthers 13, Union Dutchman 8. And let's get in the side, play the role here of Coach Whitford for just a moment, Tom. And what are you telling this Union College crew? I mean, obviously we're probably looking to set up a play here, but then, how does he keep their spirits buoyed? I mean, I really don't know that you have to, because these guys have just been stoked the entire afternoon. But, how do you talk to these men and get them fired up for these last 9 minutes and down by 5?
He's probably got his eye set on 3 players out, 3 players inside the down the alley to get the ball to execute a pass, and they're instructed to either shoot, fairly quick or dish it out, but not to do anything reckless or silly at this point, because the game is at hand now with their 5-point deficit.
Right, you're down by 5 goals, 9:08 to play, so you still have the luxury of using most of that shot clock as long as you use it effectively. And as you said earlier, the critical, very critical thing here is not only do you have to score, but then Pilato has to come back and win those face-offs for the Dutchman.
Yes. And the patience is going to run low as the shots on goal may or may not be created.
Shaw looking to shoot.
Panthers have a good defense set up out there.
Yeah, they've pulled the defense in just a little bit. As there are no openings now, as Blasey and Shaw both looking for shots. And I tell you what, Tom, you give Michael Shaw, number 5 in maroon, that ball, and he's not thinking about passing.
No, and that would have been a good top cage shot, too, had that gone.
And now they'll work back up top with Peter Kipp, yet to get on the board this evening for Union. Shot clock down to 25 with 8:22 remaining in the fourth. A shot from distance and a goal! Oh, they're going to disallow that. They're going to say that Jake Mabarty was in the crease. They tried to feed Mabarty right in front of the crease, but he went down to a knee and just put a knee inside the crease. No goal for Union. A great pass from the outside, but mental mistake there by Mabarty, too close to the goal.
Yep, it happens. You get too excited. You don't know where your feet are. You're thinking goal, goal, goal.
Well, I think the problem there was the video will bear this out, but it looked to me like he was in position but then fell, and he didn't get the ball out of his cross before his knee hit inside the crease.
He walked right into a shot.
Indeed. And now Middlebury will look to take some more time off the clock here and put a goal on the board as they'll work up top with Jack Sheehan wearing number 9 and number 30, Bobby Hendry. Hendry already with a goal in this match for the Panthers. He's one of 11 goal scorers on the evening for Middlebury. As Sheehan will bring it back up top, shot clock down to 28.
Middlebury testing that defense too, Brian. They're pressing.
And if you're Middlebury here, Tom, are you going to be upset if the shot clock expires, or are you going to just be satisfied with taking those 80 seconds off the clock?
If I'm coach, I'm not disappointed.
And no need to be disappointed there. A goal for the Panthers. Just as I say that, the shot clock in the waning seconds. And there's the first goal of the match for Sheehan.
Where did they move the shot clock to?
Well, the shot clock here to the right on the south end of the field is out.
Okay.
So we're having to use just the one shot clock here on the north end of the field, which is to your viewing left. It's well out of the back of play, folks. You probably can't see it. But it's a little bit harder for us to see it because we had a much better view of the shot clock on the southern end zone, or the southern end.
Had a procedure call on the face-off, gives the ball to Union. Here's their time as number 13, Peter Kipp, brings the rock down.
And now Sheehan, with that goal, makes it 14-8 in favor of Middlebury, but Union back on the job with 6:45 to play in regulation.
The sense of urgency has begun. Davis trying to make something happen.
Davis looking for his fourth goal, tried to go 5-hole there. Save by Kern. And now the long stick midi for Middlebury will bring the ball out. Teddy Curran quickly charging forward, number 27, Farkas. Farkas looking for his second goal. No, he'll fake the shot and set things back up in X as they'll try to get the offensive specialist back on the field. Working here on the near side, Billy Curtis with the shot clock down to 57. As we move into the final 6 minutes of this match here on the campus of UT Austin. A foul there. Well, no, they lose the ball out of bounds. And nobody in X for Middlebury.
No.
So possession to Union with 5:58 to play in quarter number 4.
It's going to be very difficult now, Brian. They've got to get down there and shoot almost immediately if they're going to make it happen.
That is a true statement, Tom. They need 6 goals, and they need them in a hurry.
You're talking a goal about every 40 seconds.
So they're going to, looks like they'll only play with half the shot clock as Mabardi works up top with Peter Kipp. And you've got to give the Panther defense credit. They have kept Union's leading scorer off the sheet so far in this contest as we've got just over 5 minutes to play in the fourth period. On the far side, that's Peter Kipp still working. Davis shot. He tried the low wister, but it sailed over the top of the goal. He had the range. He was just a little too high over the crossbar.
You know, if the Panthers come away with this victory, Brian, we can trace this back to the first quarter when they got that, 4-1, 5-1 lead that they haven't relinquished. They played a very aggressive first quarter game, and they've kept that 5-6 goal lead, and that's, I think, was the critical factor. Normally we wait till the third or fourth quarter to be a determining factor, but if you look back, that first quarter was awesome.
No, the first goal scored by Union. They took an early 1-0 lead, and then Middlebury comes back and scores 5
unanswered.
5 unanswered, and that's where we are right now. They established that a 4-goal lead. We're at a 6-goal lead right now as Union has been playing catch-up ever since and have been unable to get closer than 5 goals. Well, no, they've not been able to get closer than 5 goals. They've been able to get down to 5 3 different times in this second half, but unable to close it more than that. As now the turnover taken by Union with 4:15 remaining in the fourth. 14-8 the advantage for the Middlebury Panthers. As Union now will need to shoot quickly. Holding the ball on the far side, waiting for the defensive changes is Mabardi. Less than 4 minutes to play in the fourth.
Humphrey checks out of the game for Union. Sends back in Zach Davis.
And the Panthers getting all defensive specialists in there, but boy, that didn't help at all. As number 22, Matt Blasey, puts one in the net from about 35 yards out. That shot never got more than about 14 inches off the ground. A nice low wrister there for Blasey to make it 14-9 in favor of Middlebury.
Just an amazing play. You weren't in that game. 5 seconds, there's a shot on goal.
Well, as you had said earlier, Tom, that's what they need to do. I mean, before we talked about the need to score a goal every 40 seconds, but now we're down to 3:47 to play, and they've closed it back to a 5-goal lead.
See that strategic play.
And another
literally hiked the ball back,
yep.
knowing the Union player was going to get it, number 2.
Yeah, Jake Titus. Yeah, another critical face-off win there for Pilato.
Davis back in the game.
And now here comes Zach Davis. He leads Union with three goals on the evening. And he'll run the offense up top with 3:20 to play in the fourth period.
Somebody's got to get open pretty quick.
Kip on the far side working up top with Davis. Kip thinks about a shot. He'll pass instead. Davis now looking on the side of the net for Shaw. Shaw snuck in there very close. Now they'll find Blasey on the far side. And Union furiously working this ball in both directions. They haven't set up a typical ride here. They're just looking for an open shot. As the clock down to 28 on the shot clock. Shaw looking to shoot. They look for Blasey cutting in, the ball over his head. Now Kip on the outside.
Yeah, look for it to get into Blasey somehow.
Walker Stevens, number 26, marking Kip.
They got to start shooting pretty quick here, Brian.
Shot clock down to 13.
2.5 minutes.
And there's the ground ball you talked about, Tom. A loose ball there, scooped up.
Yep.
By number 15, Drew Drummer, the long stick midi for the Panthers.
That may just be about it.
And now a shot. Oh, what a shot right there by number 27, Farkas. He put it right on the mask of Donahue, but the save was made. Another loose ball picked up by Russell Thorndike. And now Russell Thorndike will control with Billy Curtis. And with 2 minutes to play and a 5-goal advantage here, is this the point here where you'll just slow it down and be happy to take AD off the clock?
I guess.
Or they're probably looking for goal number 15. They're not going to stop.
Union is going to come out and challenge them to make something happen.
Though they'll need to. They'll need to press the advantage and possibly risk an infraction here at this point just to get control of the ball.
Absolutely.
They'll work on the far side. A shot and a goal. Whoa, what a hip shot right there by number 40, Patrick Jamin. And that right there might just do it. The death blow from Jamin. That's his second goal of the match. With 1:42 to play in the fourth, it's now Middlebury 15, Union College 9.
Jamin wasn't scared to shoot that ball. They got it in. They worked it. They got it to him. Bam, back of the cage.
Jamin now with his second goal of the evening. The Panthers with three players with 2 goals each.
Union with the ball.
A dozen different scorers tonight for Middlebury as we play with 90 seconds remaining. The low wrister there by Titus out of bounds, and Union will keep possession.
We're going to see some rapid play on account of these Dutchmen. They are going to shoot on goal as frequently as they can, and you will see the press happening on both ends of the field. They're not going to give up yet.
And Middlebury now with possession, 70 seconds to play, 67 on the shot clock. And the ball forced out of bounds. Last touch by Union. Now Middlebury will bring the ball back into play. And Middlebury can just about run out the clock here as we have 1 minute remaining in tonight's match here on the campus of UT Austin.
I think they're just going to kill the clock and even take the penalty if they have to.
Billy Curtis just running around in X, trying to stay away. They'll move the ball all the way back up top with Tom Connolly. And anytime a Union defender gets close, they just run away or they try to get the ball as far away from the Union defenders as possible. Curtis runs in there, thinks about a shot.
If you notice, the Panthers are spread out wide, both behind and on the wing.
Only a 1 second difference between game clock and shot clock. Shot clock at 20, game clock at 8, or shot clock at 18, game clock at 20. And now the Middlebury bench starting to cheer as Connolly will sit in the ball with X. Now he'll move to Curtis on the near side. They'll look for Connolly in the corner. 5 seconds. And Connolly will just hold the ball on his cross. And the shot clock violation as time expires and the horn sounds ending tonight's game.
You know, Brian, this has been a great game, to say the least. Score really doesn't indicate the hustle and and fire that both of these teams have scored. Middlebury, Saturday, they'll be at Bates College in Lewiston, Maine, while the Union Dutchmen, Saturday, same day, the 25th, they'll play St. Lawrence in Schenectady. Can you pronounce that for
Schenectady.
me? Schenectady.
Or at least that's what I've always said. I could be wrong. I'm sorry, New York.
But anyway, both teams are going to be active starting this Saturday. Bates College for Middlebury and St. Lawrence for the Union College Dutchmen.
And what a way to start spring break if you're a Middlebury College men's lacrosse player, as they've taken the opportunity to come down here on their spring break and play one of their fiercest rivals, the Union College Dutchmen, all the way down here in Austin, Texas. As we had said earlier before the game, these two schools only 107 miles apart, but here they are, 1,800 miles from home, playing in the beautiful facility here provided by the University of Texas at Austin. And, folks, the final horn has sounded here at Cavan Lacrosse and Sports Center, bringing our NCAA Division III Showcase game to a close. And your final score here tonight from the University of Texas at Austin, the Middlebury College Panthers 15, Union College Dutchmen 9. And this, Tom, this game lived up to the hype. It lived up to the billing. Middlebury, the number 11 ranked team in the nation in NCAA Division III, taking down the 5th ranked Union Dutchmen and handing the Dutchmen their first loss of the season. They'll fall to 5-1 on the year, as Middlebury will improve their own record to 5-0, and they're ready to enter league play in the New England Small Conference New England Small College Athletic Conference.
Sure. Again, Brian, I allude this back to the first quarter. The first quarter is where we saw this game being won.
Yes. Yeah, Middlebury comes out. Union scores the opening goal. Middlebury going on a 5-0 run to take a 5-1 lead. But at the end of the first quarter, it was 7-2 in favor of Middlebury, and the Panthers never looked back.
I think, I think Union will learn from this. I think they'll bounce right back. The aggressive play on both of these teams, but, I like both of these schools. They've got a lot to be proud of, rich tradition, and they'll be back. They'll look back at spring break 2023 and say, yeah, we lost this one, but I think good things are going to come for the Dutchmen.
Oh, yes, the Dutchmen, this is their final game before they move into Liberty League play starting next week. And even with the loss here tonight in Austin, I would have to think that the Union is probably the odds-on favorite to take the Liberty League crown. Perhaps, as they move in, I guess they move into the playoffs, that's when they'll see Rensselaer Polytechnic again. But, Union, I would think at this point, has to be the odds-on favorites to take the Liberty League title here in 2023.
Sure. Key players staying healthy, working their plan, staying focused. It's just there for the taking.
And as we run down the scoring here for you tonight, Middlebury with 15 goals in the match. 2 goals by number 41, Tom Connolly. 2 goals by Cooper Damali. 2 goals by Patrick Jammin. 1 goal by Cooper Damali. 2 by Jammin. 2 by Russell Thorndike. And single goals each by Hendry, Farkas, Forbes, Jake Peluso, William Ryan, Billy Curtis, Will Zink, and Jack Sheehan. I mean, talk about the effort you have there with, spreading the offense out like that in a lacrosse team. You've got 12 different goal scorers in a match. That is depth on your bench for the Panthers. And
it was devised from the beginning. The coach said they were going to share the rock and spread it out, said there's no one, key player that is, they've got consistently 3 good ones that are current that take a lot of shots on goal, but overall he said they're going to share the rock, and that is the team concept for this season for them.
And 9 goals here on the night for the Union Dutchmen. 3 of those, the only hat trick of the match for number 11 Zach Davis, albeit in a losing effort, and single goals each by Jake Mabberty, Peter Burns, Michael Shaw, Archie McAvoy, Emmett Lynn, and Matt Blasey. And your final total Your final tally tonight, Middlebury College 15, Union College 9 here at Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center.
The weather, like you said.
And now 3 minutes after the lacrosse match is over, folks, the rain has stopped.
Not a drop to be had. A lot of parents and friends filing out onto the field, congratulating their kids. You know, win or lose, these Dutchmen will bounce right back, and I see good things for this season. And don't be surprised if you see them vie for the title game at the end of the season.
The way this match was played here tonight, I have no doubt in my mind that it's very possible that we could see these two teams playing each other once again with everything on the line later in the season. And, folks, that'll wrap up tonight's coverage here from the Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center on the campus of University of Texas at Austin. As we close out tonight, we want to take a moment and thank everyone who made tonight's broadcast possible. The executive producer of Game On Sports is Fred Garner. Today's match was produced and directed by Gabe Scott. And Game On Sports technical producer is Trevor Von Dam. We'd also like to give a special thanks to our administrators back at the home office, Lisa Carrillo and Sarah Beasley. And, folks, today's Union College versus Middlebury College lacrosse match is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network. Copyright 2023, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports is strictly prohibited. And as we say goodnight, Tom, your final thoughts here on the match this evening.
Be looking for good things for both of these schools. They've both got a lot to be proud of, and I'd be blessed to be a part of it at any stretch.
Well, that wraps it up here tonight for us, folks, from Caven Lacrosse and Sports Center. We thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending some of your Tuesday evening with us, and we look forward to seeing you for our next NCAA lacrosse broadcast right here on Game On Sports. So on behalf of my broadcast partner, Tom McGee, and our entire Game On Sports production crew, this is Brian Shackelford, thanking you for joining us this evening and for your continued support of NCAA Division III lacrosse. Your final score again tonight, Middlebury College Panthers 15, Union College Dutchmen 9. Until next time, good night, and God bless from Austin, Texas.